Welcome back, the rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Washington silver quarter coins value in today's market. First up, the 1970 Washington silver quarter with a large date and D mint mark. But there's a twist, this coin is in damaged condition. So, how much could it be worth in today's market? Well, let's dive right in. The 1970 Washington silver quarter is part of a series that's commonly sought after. And when you add a large date and a D mint mark to the mix, it certainly catches the eye of collectors. But today, we're specifically focusing on this one in damaged condition. First things first, let's take a closer look at what we mean by damaged condition. A coin can be considered damaged for a number of reasons. Anything from scratches, dents, discoloration, to even corrosion can qualify as damage. Unfortunately, this affects the overall value of the coin, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. Now, a 1970 Washington quarter in excellent condition can fetch anywhere from $800 for an uncirculated piece. However, when a coin has significant damage like this one, the value drops quite a bit. In damaged condition, you might be looking at anywhere from $1,000 depending on the extent of the damage and demand from collectors. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have historical significance or rarity, and even with damage, there's still some value here. For instance, quarters with a large date and D mint mark from 1970 are still part of the regular minting process, but they can carry a small premium when found in certain conditions, like proof-like finishes or when they're tied to specific errors. Damaged coins like this one are typically valued at lower-end prices. But don't count them out. Some collectors might still find them appealing if they're interested in a lower-cost way to complete a set or for circulation use. So, there you have it. If you're sitting on a 1970 Washington quarter with D mint mark in damaged condition, don't expect it to be a high-value find. But even in this state, it still holds a place in the market. Be sure to check your coins, and if you ever find one in better condition, the value could be a lot more. Next up, the 1970 Washington silver quarter with a large date and no mint mark, and we're focusing on one in extra fine condition. So, how much is this beauty worth in today's market? Let's find out. The 1970 Washington silver quarter is a standout in the world of U.S. coins. With a large date and a no mint mark, it's part of a regular minting process, but when it's in extra fine condition, it really catches the eye of collectors. Now, let's talk about what extra fine condition means. A coin in extra fine condition has minimal wear and tear, with just slight signs of use. The details are still sharp, and the coin looks almost as if it's been in circulation for only a short time. You'll notice the features of George Washington and the eagle on the reverse are still crisp and clear. Coins like the 1970 Washington silver quarter with a large date and no mint mark are generally worth a bit more when they're in extra fine condition. In today's market, this coin is typically valued between $300. Of course, prices can vary depending on demand and where you sell the coin. If you're a collector or you're looking to buy, this price range might seem like a great deal for a coin in extra fine condition, especially when you compare it to other coins from the same era. For example, coins in lower grades like fine or very fine could be worth a little less, around $500, but when a coin has a lot of its original details intact, collectors are often willing to pay more. An important thing to note is that even though this coin doesn't have mint mark, the large date variety can still command a premium in the extra fine condition range, especially with coins from the 1970s that are well preserved. The silver content in these coins also adds to their value, making them a solid choice for those interested in silver bullion as well as numismatic value. So, there you have it. The 1970 Washington silver quarter with a large date and no mint mark in extra fine condition could be worth anywhere from $800 in today's market. It's a great coin to look out for if you're a collector or if you're just getting started. Next up, the 1981 Washington silver quarter with a large date and D mint mark, and we're focusing on one in very fine condition. So, how much is this coin worth in today's market? Let's take a closer look. The 1981 Washington silver quarter with a large date and D mint mark is part of a regular series of coins, but when it's in very fine condition, it stands out to collectors. Coins in very fine condition show noticeable wear, but the key details are still sharp and well-defined. So, what does very fine condition mean? A coin in very fine condition typically has worn features but still retains most of its original detail. For example, the portrait of George Washington on the obverse will have visible wear, but the details like his hair, face, and the eagle on the reverse will remain clearly visible with just slight signs of circulation. Now, when it comes to the value of the 1981 Washington silver quarter with the D mint mark in very fine condition, we're looking at a range of about 400 in today's market. The value depends on how well the coin has been preserved and the demand from collectors. Although the 1981 Washington quarter isn't a rare coin, it still has a fair amount of value, especially when it's in very fine condition. If you compare it to coins in lower grades like fine or good, the value can drop significantly, but very fine coins still command a solid price. Keep in mind that the D mint mark tells us the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and the large date variety adds a bit more interest for collectors looking to complete a set of Washington quarters. While not as valuable as some other years or era coins, it's still a great coin to have in your collection. So, there you have it. The 1981 Washington silver quarter with a large date and D mint mark in very fine condition is worth anywhere between $20,000 in today's market. It's a perfect example of a coin that holds its value despite being from a more common year. Keep an eye out for these in your collection or your local coin shop. Next up, the 1965 Washington silver quarter with a large date and no mint mark, and in dirty condition. So, how much is this coin worth in today's market despite its condition? Let's dive in and find out. The 1965 Washington silver quarter is part of a transitional year in U.S. coinage history. It's the first year that quarters no longer contained silver, but we're specifically looking at the large date variety, which still catches the attention of collectors, even in less than ideal condition like this. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly does dirty condition mean? A coin in dirty condition typically has grime, dirt, or tarnish from being exposed to the elements over time. While this doesn't necessarily make the coin less historically significant, it does impact its value. In many cases, collectors are looking for coins that are clean, or at least in good condition. But don't worry, even a coin like this can still have some value. Typically, a 1965 Washington quarter in excellent or uncirculated condition can be worth around $30,000. But when the coin is in dirty condition, especially one that shows heavy tarnish or dirt, the value drops a bit. For a 1965 Washington quarter like this, you're looking at around $40,000 in today's market. Now, that may seem low, but remember the large date and no mint mark variety isn't extremely rare. The 1965 Washington quarter is fairly common, so the value primarily depends on the condition. Coins with noticeable dirt or stains tend to get discounted, but it doesn't mean they're worthless. While this coin is not in pristine condition, it still carries some value. If you have a coin like this in dirty condition, it can still be a nice addition to a collection, especially if you're looking for budget-friendly pieces or trying to complete a set without breaking the bank. So, there you have it. The 1965 Washington silver quarter with a large date and no mint mark, in dirty condition, is worth around $53,000 in today's market. While it's not a high-value coin, it's still part of U.S. coin history and worth holding onto if you're a collector. Next up, the 1974 Washington silver quarter without a mint mark, and we're focusing on one in good condition. You might be wondering how much this coin is worth in today's market. Well, let's take a look. The 1974 Washington silver quarter is a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage history. This year marked a period when Washington quarters were being struck in copper-nickel rather than silver, making them less valuable than earlier years, but still significant to collectors. Now, let's talk about good condition. A coin in good condition shows significant wear from circulation, but the features are still recognizable. In the case of the 1974 Washington quarter, you'll notice that while the details of George Washington and the eagle on the reverse might be worn down a bit, they're still visible and identifiable. There's some smoothing, but the overall shape and design remain intact. Now, in good condition, A 1974 Washington quarter without a mint mark typically has a value in the range of $400 in today's market. While it's not a rare coin, it's still a nice piece of U.S. coinage and can hold value if you're collecting Washington quarters or if you're looking for coins in various conditions. For comparison, coins in fine or very fine condition can be worth a bit more, typically ranging from $700 depending on the level of preservation. However, when you're dealing with a good condition coin like this one, the price is more modest. But don't let that discourage you. Coins in good condition still have a place in a collection, especially if you're just starting out or if you're looking for a lower-cost option. Even though the 1974 Washington quarter wasn't struck with silver, it's still a valuable coin in certain grades, especially as a part of a set, or if you're focused on U.S. coins from the 1970s. The no mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is an interesting detail for collectors. So there you have it. The 1974 Washington silver quarter without a mint mark in good condition is worth around $900 in today's market. It might not be a high-value coin, but it's still a nice find for collectors looking to complete their sets or those just starting their coin journey. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin tips, and stay tuned for future videos. Happy collecting!